France in possession. And Gamoa. Step overs again and a brilliant finish. That is majestic. What a way to score your first ever goal at Anfield.
Welcome to Redheads, your West Coast-based Liverpool Football Club podcast. Put a little radio flair on that. I am one of your co-hosts this evening, or day, depending on when you're listening. Ian Luck, joined as always by my co-host, the big man, me, James Morris. James, how are you?
As the man who needs no introduction, I'm doing great. Look, it's night time here. I don't care when you're listening. It's night right now, and it's night as far as I'm concerned.
Both wearing sunglasses at night.
Hey, you gotta look good. Showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz. Yeah, you are in the Tinseltown. Topsy-turvy week, James. Topsy-turvy week.
More turv than top, I would say, but at least a little top.
We've been topped off. Look, we're going to get into a couple games because Liverpool did play 2 games.
Which I think that's the last time this year we'll play 2 in a week, I guess.
James. I think this might be our last midweek, which is, okay with me.
Season's wrapping up.
I work during these games, you got to
stick a fork in it.
Exactly.
It's done.
We did play Fulham at Anfield over the weekend, and we will also discuss the heartbreaking loss to PSG, which ended our Champions League dream, dare I say.
Dream, certainly. Pipe dream.
There you go. I mean, let's talk about this Fulham game. It was on Saturday, and it was, I know how I felt. I was very stressed. I feel like we have a pretty bad record against Fulham, even albeit at home. But this home game was actually marred with not controversy, but protests from the supporters because of the increase in ticketing. So there wasn't going to be any flags on the cop. So it just seemed like there was going to be a weird atmosphere around the game. But yeah, like I said, I was pretty nervous. I was pretty pessimistic going into this. How did you feel?
Inevitably, I feel optimistic going into a game, and that was true again.
There you go.
Going into Fulham. But I would say, so the last time there was a protest at Anfield was, 14-15? Or maybe 15-16? Either way, it was against Sunderland. We were up 2-0, and then they walked out on 77 minutes, I think, because the price was going to be £77. And we promptly conceded 2 and drew 2-2. So it was inauspicious for it to be 2-0 heading into the protest time, but obviously things worked out okay. And certainly I support the fans' right to protest. If anything, the fact that we drew that game was good in hindsight, sort of as a backing foundation for the protest. So maybe we shouldn't have won this game. But either way, long story short, I went in feeling pretty optimistic. I was nervous towards the end. Fulham did start getting chances. But let's talk about our own chances.
I mean, I think one of the big talking points was Rio getting the start. I think that lit the crowd up with some excitement. He has had some pretty good displays in his few minutes this season, but he finally gets a start again. You have Gakpo as your center forward, Virton behind, and then Jones and Szoboszlai as kind of like your double pivot midfield. But I think this is what we really needed because this is the game after the Champions League loss in Paris. So I think we needed kind of a kick up the ass. And I think Rio does bring that, especially on that left-hand side. He's just supercharged and he brings a spark. And I don't know if it's just youth. I mean, you can kind of tell, it's kind of like the rings of a tree. You can kind of tell how old a player is by the amount of stepovers they do. And he does so many, James.
But it's in reverse. It's in reverse.
It's in reverse. But my God, every time he does a step over, the crowd goes crazy.
I mean, every time he does it, we got a little motorcycle in the background. Apologies to all those gearheads. Couldn't tell you what that was. R1000
their
maybe.
engines.
But my engine got revved by those step overs on Saturday. He is just so much fun to watch. He's got that sort of fearlessness and almost recklessness, you might say, that hasn't yet been coached out of him.
I think it's
And
just his directness. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
he will attack his left. And he's playing against Castagna, I think was the right back for Fulham.
Yeah.
Who's like no mug. He's been around the block. But he was just taking him to town that first half and really making him sweat a little bit. And, it was just the dribbling, the directness. I feel like that's something that Liverpool have just like lacked recently. Just that like attacking impetus,
Oh,
and he
yeah. I
just
mean, do
brings
we
that.
really have anyone in the team who can just beat a man dribbling?
I mean, it was Salah in seasons ago, but that's no longer the case. Gakpo was very hesitant on doing that. He doesn't really like to use, his size, his body, which we talked about before. But
we have
yeah,
talked about his body.
we love talking about his body. And, again, Rio just plays with like zero hesitation. And I feel like it's a complete contrast to all the other players on the pitch it just feels like a lot more methodical. You know what I mean? And he's just like, no, give me the ball. Let me attack. And I think that's, again, just given the nature of the game, the opposition and kind of just the general, like, I guess enthusiasm for the team. I think this was like total injection of positivity. Him being in the team, that is.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And I mean, basically, you said methodical, metronomic, if that's a word, you might describe our build-up play normally. And it's not even like there was a game plan to create chances for Rio. I mean, you're saying that he was, sort of had Castagna on toast, Castagna, however you want to say it. And that's true, so much so that they were basically doubling up on Rio. And when he scores, he beats two and a half men to do so, so.
I mean, it was amazing, James. I mean, that's the thing with step overs and just like juking. Sometimes he will do it a little too much, so you just assume he was going to lose out on the ball. And in this first half, I mean, let's start here. I mean, he becomes the youngest goal scorer, beating Raheem Sterling to score at Anfield, which is just, it's amazing. And what a goal to do it. Step over, cuts in, jukes, cuts in again, and a curler with his right foot.
He jinked as well.
He juked and he jinked.
Yeah.
Curls it in. Keeper had no chance. It was a beautiful goal. And I think it was the 30th minute, 33rd minute?
Just about.
Yeah. And the crowd goes wild, obviously. It was amazing. It was a fantastic goal.
It was a fantastic goal, and he did what I've come to learn is the scuba, the celebration. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, so I was talking to a friend.
Let's hear it.
Saturday, and something happened, and I did the celebration, but I did both hands because I thought he did both hands. And
you aged yourself.
I aged myself hard, and let's just say he didn't appreciate it. Let's just say that. And I got it wrong. So what is the scuba? What is this?
What? Well, hey, I'll age myself too. I've never heard of it.
I assumed it was a Fortnite thing.
That I think that makes sense. Maybe TikTok. I mean, right now we're really sounding our age, which is 22. Yeah, I have no idea what it is. I only saw it because I went to the Reddit after he scored, and people were talking about the scuba. And I thought that it was like, you stink. I thought that that's what he was going for.
Like PU.
But wait, so what was this conversation you were having that needed a celebration?
We were talking about getting ice cream. That was my response. So yeah, great goal from Rio. Again, becomes the youngest goal scorer by, I think, a handful of days too, to be out.
I think it was a pretty good number. Yeah.
Was it? Okay. And then not long after that, Mo Salah gets a goal too. Again, all from Rio.
Came through Rio. Yep.
He gets not the assist, kind of the assist to the assist.
Yep.
I think he passes it over to Gakpo.
He passes it to Gakpo, who, frankly, candidly, does really well to control and feed Mo.
He does. His hold up play is
nothing to
nothing.
My chagrin.
Yes. Yeah. Feeds it to Mo, who with one touch just almost
takes a big bite. Yeah.
Side foots it into the bottom left corner, which I thought was just gonna go wide or
kind of a mirror image of Rio's goal. I mean, he doesn't do a step over, but
right.
Yeah.
A little bit less enthusiastic, I would say, but it was a great goal from Mo.
It was more mature. It was a more mature goal.
Of course,
Yeah.
it showed his age.
And I was crying out alone in my living room for the tree pose, the yoga pose celebration. I would love to see that one last time before Mo sets sail. And I still might.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Do you have a favorite Mo celebration?
every time he takes off his shirt.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's top 2 for me.
Yeah. But I think that was his 250th non-penalty Premier League goal? I think it might have been, which is an awesome, again, just like another statistic that I feel like he just breaks records without people knowing.
It was definitely in the 250s overall. Yeah, I'm not sure about the non-penalty-ness of that stat.
Right. But I mean, look, this first half I thought was it was not surprising because I guess given how PSG went, where we kind of just went in just uber defensive, and we kind of went in with our tails between our legs.
We possummed.
Yeah. And this game coming out, and we had early dominance. We obviously got those 2 goals in the first half. Fulham rarely tested us, I feel like, especially in that first half. I feel like they're a team that can give you a bloody nose. I know that Wilson had a few chances, and Muniz, their forward. But like that first half, I felt was like pretty spot on in terms of just a sense of control from a Liverpool perspective.
Yeah, no, I thought the first half was great. Yeah, there was sort of a half chance. Harry Wilson skies one. I guess I shouldn't say sky because it wasn't too far over the bar, but it didn't trouble Mama. He didn't feel compelled to make a save. Yeah, it was the kind of game that you want from a title winning season after a long night in Paris on Wednesday. Obviously, the season hasn't worked out that way, but that's the kind of performance that you're really looking for.
Did you have, besides Rio, was there, I mean, like I said, I know Jones, I think he came off on 46 with a slight injury.
Yeah.
And then, we didn't even talk about the fact that Beerts kind of had an assist in the lead up to that Ngamoa goal too, because it was a nice little breakaway for that first goal. But I thought he had a pretty solid game too, Florian, which is like, he's just a player that's kind of, like he's obviously growing into the season, but we did spend just a ton of money on him, and he's just not really taking games by the scruff of the neck. And maybe that's just not the player he is,
Yeah.
but
I would say that it's been overall a little disappointing.
It has been an underwhelming first season for him, for sure.
But we signed him for 6 years. He's only 22, I think. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm not getting carried away. The season's a write off.
Exactly. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's just like, he has these performances where you think that maybe this is the one where he just, gets his hat trick of assists, but that wasn't the case. He got the one, which was great. But going into the second half, James, I think, we still controlled possession, but we didn't attack as much. I think we just kind of figured 2 goals up, reduce the risk. But then this gave Fulham way more kind of opportunities to go down both of our flanks and attack us, which they did. They had plenty of opportunities in the second half to make it at least a more interesting game. I mean, they had 14 shots to our 8 in that second half, only 1 being on target, but still, like, they had 31 touches in our box. So like they were, stepping up. And I think it's also credit to Virgil and Konate to, batten down the hatches for sure for that second half.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily nailed the hatch battening. That's probably a few more chances than you'd like to be giving up to a team like Fulham, who, are decent. Obviously, they're not getting relegated. I think that they came into that Sunday or Saturday in 9th.
Right.
A top half team, at least by the skin of their teeth. But, it's the kind of performance that you think if we were playing someone better, they would have scored, and then who knows what would have happened. But that didn't happen. So it's a little bit much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that the game ends with like pretty much even on shots, even on expected goals. Like you said, they get a lot of touches in the box. So yeah, the second half was certainly a lot more Fulham than it was Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I feel like the overall narrative after the game was it was a pretty disappointing performance despite the 2-goal margin that we had, which like I get. I mean, like when you end a game, especially the way we did in the second half, where you're kind of not necessarily on the back foot, but you're not attacking the way you were in that first half. I think that can leave like, not a great taste, especially when you're going into this game against PSG. But I think it was just a performance that we needed. We definitely needed a clean sheet, and um, I don't know,
And we
man.
got it.
And we got it. And look, I'll take a 2-goal win at Anfield any day, regardless of how we look on the pitch itself.
100%. We were desperate for a win. I don't think we had won a game. This actually, I think I heard this on the
February, right?
broadcast, right? It was our first win in the league since February, which is nuts.
Which is depressing. And
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about the slot rumors about him potentially staying on past the season, which is like not, you never want someone to, you
To
never want
lose
to
their
wish,
job.
yeah, exactly. You never want to wish ill on someone's position, but, I don't like the sound of that. But, obviously, again, we do win the game. It's fantastic. But I think the real cherry on top, James, was the surrounding fixtures. I think we won this weekend in terms of our position, our kind of our grip hold. I said this last time.
Your
I
grip
said
hold?
grip hold. What is the term?
You're just, I'm not sure what you're going for. Our
Stranglehold?
stranglehold? Yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing.
I feel
Our
like
grip? I think you just said grip.
I like
In
grip
terms of our
hold.
grip on fifth place.
Right. Okay.
Our
Well,
stranglehold, yeah,
yeah.
you could say that.
Well, as I said, we beat Fulham
It was
at
an
home.
incredible weekend.
It was incredible. So given the results, I mean, Chelsea, they lose 3-0 to City, which is fantastic. They're our direct rival, I guess, like underneath us. They're on 48 points, whereas we're on 52. So that was fantastic. Ford get a draw against our rivals, Everton. Everton did us a favor
What's
by getting a 90
the 93rd minute
yeah.
equalizer? Yeah.
So that's fantastic. You got Aston Villa, who also drew against Nottingham Forest, who were relegation candidates, and finally United lose against Leeds, which is just like it was like a chef's kiss of a weekend, James. It was fantastic.
You're missing something
Give it to me.
for you specifically.
Yes,
What happened to Arsenal?
I mean they got torched by Bournemouth.
That's right. There you go.
Torched is maybe not the right word. I mean,
A 2-1 torching.
Look. They're. I don't want to get my hopes up. I think it's also a little childish of me to be this impacted
Hey,
by Arsenal.
we're watching a kids game.
But at this point, I have
You're being
nothing.
a little
I have
childish.
nothing to play for. I mean, besides this Champions League spot, I need something
Yeah.
to get to rile me up.
There's no
So,
joy in life without someone else failing.
and they play City this weekend, which is just very exciting. Very exciting. But yeah, so just a pretty good weekend overall for Liverpool. Again, we are on 52 points in that fifth place spot with Chelsea on 48. And then I think we're only 3 points behind both Aston Villa and Manchester United for that fourth and that third place spot. So great.
Yeah, it's going to get interesting. I mean, we've talked about it before, we'll talk about it again, but the fact that we played Chelsea, Villa, United, and Brentford, those are our last 4 fixtures, it's going to get pretty spicy come, I don't know, May 25th, Memorial Day.
But yeah, I can't wait. But let's move on, James, because sadly we are out of the Champions League.
We've moved on.
We've moved on. We went into this game going basically being 2-0 down on aggregate in Paris, this game being at Anfield. And, I think there was some optimism. That this is, you dare to dream, right, James?
Miracles happen.
Miracles have happened. We have witnessed it firsthand, and it's truly an amazing feeling. I was ready to get to basically,
Get raptured.
Tear my hair out. Yeah, just out of pure excitement. And, I think Slot understood kind of just I don't want to say essentially the importance of getting a goal, the first goal of this game, because he goes with a pretty strong lineup. He starts Ekitike and Isak. Isak coming back from a long-term injury. He was just, he was on the bench for Fulham. Did he come on against Fulham? I think he did he?
I honestly
We should
couldn't
know
tell
this,
you.
but we don't.
But he came on against Paris.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was almost like a 4-2-2-2 lineup. So you have Ekitike, Isak on top. You have McAllister and Wirtz, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai as your midfielders, then Frimpong, Kirkes, Konate, and Van Dijk to round it off. What do you think about this game?
Oh, about the game? Look, I think ultimately it was a little depressing to see. We put a lot of fight in.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it was honestly a pretty decent performance. If this game was the first leg, I don't think that it ends 2-0 to Paris. Like, sort of ultimately what happened is the better team beat us. Like, they were better across the tie, they were better on the night, and it just really demonstrated just how much we're not at the races right now. That's really where the depression came from. There's no reason to think that we're going to beat them next year when we play again, our annual fixture in Paris.
Right. I was going to say, I mean, we've played them 4 times in the past 2 years and we've only scored 1 goal. So
Right.
that player does not play for Liverpool anymore. So yeah, I mean, like, look, it was a far-fetched dream to think that we could possibly get this back to 2-2, but crazier things have happened. But
you just
yeah,
gotta get lucky, and we almost did. I mean, that Van Dijk chance, that was a heartbreaker.
I mean, like, I don't know how much we want to get into this game, but like, there were opportunities, I think, from Liverpool to come up with that initial goal. But it's just one of those things where, like, you either have luck on your side or you just don't. And it just seemed like we didn't. All of our chances,
certainly when you're not good, which we aren't right now.
Right. And if you're not good, you really need luck at your side.
That's right. And we honestly had bad luck. I mean, the Doué goal in Paris was a massive deflection. And then getting that, look, I think it was soft to give the pen, but it was wrong to overturn it at that point. I mean, what's the point of VAR if not to, well, they always say, clear and obvious errors, which this wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like there's different rules for Europe than there are in the Premier League. Like, I feel like there's a different.
Well, that's right, but then they give softer pens in Europe. I mean, the one that got given against us against Galatasaray was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then the one that we got given against Inter was soft as well. When Wirtz gets his shirt tugged,
he gets tugged
off.
Tugger.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, like, look, I think
like that's the luck that we needed.
We talked about this earlier, and I think in regards to the first match, this game, we had to come out attacking. I think we did. We had our press. We were extremely intense, I think, especially early in that first half. And I think that disrupted PSG a little bit. We had some half chances from the wide areas from like Kirkes and Frimpong. Frimpong has a tendency to get in those wide areas, get past his man, put in the box to nobody.
Yeah,
which is a little annoying, but
especially with 2 strikers on the pitch.
2 strikers, especially Isak. He's a poacher, man.
This is what you do. Stand on the 12-yard line.
I mean, there was that chance, like you said, from Van Dijk, like multiple scrambles in the box. And like I said, PSG looked uncomfortable, which was like very encouraging from Liverpool perspective.
Yeah. I would say that they were uncomfortable for maybe 20 minutes, and then the end of the first half, or the second half of the first half, was pretty frustrating to watch. I mean, I guess we were going to come up to this, but obviously the game plan gets thrown out the window when Ekitike does his Achilles on 30 minutes. That was brutal.
Awful, especially when I think Slot said this going into the game that Isak was only going to play that first 45. Like, he was going to be taken off regardless, so that you have a sub down, or you have a play that's already going to be subbed. And then to have your other striker, his strike partner, to go off with, I don't want to say career-ending injury, James. That seems a little hyperbolic, but
maybe
you truly hear the worst things when it comes to an Achilles injury. He's definitely going to be out for, they say the timeline is about 9 months.
Right.
And then
could be, plus you got to rehab.
And then also there's a chance you just do not come back the same player after these injuries.
Yeah. So, it's truly the worst injury you could get, as honestly preferable to do an ACL than just tear your Achilles.
Yeah. So yeah, and you see it in the replay where he's just not doing anything, and then he hobbles onto the ground, and you're like, yeah, okay, non-contact, that's not good.
No.
So yeah, like you said, that just kind of just plummeted. I don't know. I was pretty deflated after that. Salah comes on for Ekitike, and I think he has a few good moments too. he's playing, for
Well,
his
it's
last.
Salah's cross that finds Van Dijk.
That's right.
Yeah.
But he's playing. Him and Robertson are both playing for their potential last Champions League match in a Liverpool shirt.
Well,
So
now it's confirmed.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The second
go
half
ahead.
started pretty bright, though.
Yeah, give it to me. What happened?
Well, to be totally honest, I'm not sure what happened. Like, as in, I don't really know why they basically it was the same plan, and
Right.
obviously at that point, Isak comes off. That might be part of it, to be honest. Isak,
Right.
It was a big call to start him, and probably not the right call, at least in hindsight. But so our strike partnership at the second half is Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah.
Which I think Cody Gakpo had a pretty good game.
He did. I think so too. He took a decent shot. He sort of used his size for once. And I thought Mo played pretty well too. And basically from 45 to 65, which I think is when the penalty gets overturned.
That's right.
We're kind of all over them. I mean, it's not translating into huge chances because again, we're not a good team, but it's a lot of, I don't know, exciting build-up play, you might say.
Yeah.
And leading to a couple chances that obviously we spurn, but it was exciting. And the wind really gets taken out of our sails when the penalty gets overturned, and then I think they score like a minute after that.
Yeah, I think they have a breakaway, and it's basically Dembele gets the goal, which I think there was I saw some people saying that Georgie should have saved that. But
yeah, I don't know. It didn't seem like it wasn't that far in the corner,
right.
Put it that way.
But yeah, like you said, like the penalty being overturned was just was pretty nonsensical. Like there's no clear and obvious reason
There's
to
contact
overturn it. There's contact.
Yeah. Again, I think it was soft to give it in the first place, but once it's given, it can't be taken.
Because that was in the
65, I want to say. Yeah.
I mean, look, if that goal gets given, and first we have to score it,
Yeah. Mo has missed his last two pens.
And I don't think he would have taken it. I think Dominic would have
been Dom. I think you're right.
But if that goes in, Anfield explodes, and you just don't know what could happen after that. So it's just a shame. Like
I'll go as far as to say we go through if that goes in. Well, I don't know about that, but we go to extra time at the very least.
I think we would go to extra time too. I don't know if we have the players to. I'm not confident in our penalty takers. I'll just say that much. But look, I think one of the things too that just really disappointed me was just the turnovers. I feel like just any promising attack, any build-up play was just ruined by a shoddy pass that just got intercepted by, or like Vitinha or João Neves or any other PSG player, and it just turned into a counterattack. And we kept shooting ourselves in the foot, and we just constantly do this. Again, this isn't the first time. This isn't the first game that's happened, but we just were not completely like switched on at all moments when I think we should have been.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the team has played together for long, which is wild to be saying in April, right? The season started last August, and we're still not able to complete simple passes because players don't know where their teammates are going to be. It is pretty baffling, and that I think that'll come up when we talk about Slot staying or going this summer. But yeah, it was just. Well, like I said, we just aren't very good, and so we needed a miracle, and the penalty was going to be that miracle. And then, of course,
in terms of performances, though, I think Konate had a really good game.
I did too.
He was pretty immense back there. Some great last-ditch tackles, some great interceptions. So I thought he had a performance which I thought he could at least be proud of. And I thought Kirkes and Frimpong were really good. Kirkes had a few chances inside the box. There was a few moments where. If he
just wish it was somebody else.
Yeah, it's essentially the Andy Robertson problem where you just don't want the ball to land to his feet. But I thought some good individual performances, but yeah, like you said, I just we did enough to win the game, but we just did not have the quality.
Yeah, the game is really summed up by the Dembele goal, which is. Liverpool had better chances, but worse attackers. Paris really get their first good chance, I think it's their first shot on target, actually.
Yeah.
And, their quality tells, and they score. And that's really, that's the wrap.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like other play, like Isak, pretty disappointing game. I would say he had that one shot that was pretty tame, straight at the goalkeeper.
And he was offside, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he only had like 5 touches the whole game.
The call,
45 minutes.
I mean, it's hindsight-ism.
Yeah.
But obviously, the call to start Isak was a wrong one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because you could have just left him on the bench and brought him on maybe in like the last 20. Yeah, exactly. And maybe had like Salah start up top, because Rio didn't start this game. I think a lot of people were wanting him to again ignite the whole team or ignite the crowd and everything.
Yep.
But yeah, disappointing, James, because now we're at the point where I don't want to say we have nothing to play for, but we kind of have nothing to play for at this point. I mean, we're out of the FA Cup, out of the Champions League. We essentially have to get 5th place at best.
We got a couple games to watch. It's really That's what it is. Yeah, season's done.
Extremely disappointing. Very, very sad. And again, like, credit to PSG, they're obviously the better. Like they're the holders, right? Like they're essentially the best team in the world. So it's really nothing. It's not like we got dominated by Sporting or something like that. But
PSV, although that did happen.
But yeah, just it's a bummer. It's sad, especially with the thought of this being Salah's last Champions League game for Liverpool. Same with Robertson. But yeah, I mean, at least I would say that at least they went out fighting.
Yeah, I think that it was at least a performance to respect.
Right.
Which obviously last week we were talking about Virgil talking about literally giving up on the pitch against City. So that's a far cry from what we're expecting and what is honestly acceptable. So yeah, at least, hey, go down swinging.
Go down swinging.
Yeah,
that's right. I don't know if you watched any of the other games. I mean, truly, the Bayern Munich Real Madrid tie was something to it was marvelous.
I didn't see it, and I was expecting it to be great. And work sucks. I know. So I watched the highlights, but I didn't get to watch the game. But
amazing, so good. I mean, it's such a bummer that PSG Bayern Munich is not the final. Hey,
at least you get 2 games.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. You get 2 games.
And Arsenal, they're gonna have it's the most incredible route to the final.
It's gonna be the worst tie. Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, probably the most boring. It's gonna be 0-0.
Who was their first round? Was it Fenerbahce?
In the round of 16.
Yeah.
They played Leverkusen.
So they got Leverkusen, Sporting, and now Atletico Madrid. I mean,
Atletico could do something. Yeah, I know. Give me a fucking break. I think they could do something. I think they could frustrate Arsenal. And I freaking love what's his face, Julian Alvarez, fantastic player. And but yeah,
I like Griezmann. I'm a big Griezmann guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've talked about him.
I missed that mullet.
Hair. But yeah, I think whoever wins PSG Bayern, that'll be your eventual winner.
Last season they talked about the PSG Liverpool fixture round of 16 being the final. This is now the final. It's the Bayern PSG. You think?
Absolutely.
Although look, Arsenal may be slightly boring to watch. If we're being totally candid about it, which I am. But the being able to keep people from scoring, that's how you win in Europe.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad strategy. Well, I mean, look, we had nothing really to look forward to except on Sunday, James.
We got a little something.
We have the Merseyside derby.
Yummy.
Boy.
First one at the Dicko.
At the Hill Dicko. How are you feeling about this?
Great. Tuesday to Sunday is a long layoff. Well, I guess great maybe overstates it a little bit because I, until to this moment, forgot about Ekitike. Because I just don't really think, look, Gakpo's like putting in a shift at center forward, and if we had good wingers,
exactly, right,
then it would work fine. But we just don't. Well, we do. Rio, and maybe Rio will start. But
I think so.
Even in spite of that long-winded answer I just gave, I am still feeling good. I think that we'll do them.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Rio should start again. Talking about the Fulham game, he was a lightning rod, so I think, and we'll need that because I think we need to come out swinging in this game. I think that's why you'll probably have Jones start too, as someone who is a scouser. Like you want someone who kind of understands the importance of this fixture and what it means to the
He's got red blood.
fans. Yeah, I think Gakpo will probably be your starting striker.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a little too early for an Isak start, although he just started against Paris.
Yeah, so we'll see. But maybe he'll come on maybe he'll have like another 45 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Robertson for Kirkez, I think.
Yeah, that's a good shout too because he's nasty and he's a nasty boy. But look, I mean, we have, including this game and including the game against Everton, we have 8 games left, James. We
have 6 games left.
You're right. We have 6 games left. 3 of those being at home. I think of those home games they're must wins. Everton, I think we could spring a draw, but it would be amazing. I think if we win that game, maybe that'll be the catalyst for a positive end of the season.
Yeah, I think that's it's all over, but what do they say? It's all over, but the dusting.
It's all over, but the dust.
Yeah, if we beat Everton, I mean, look, I might eat my words, but that's at the very least we've still got 4 points on Chelsea. We've probably made up and drawn level on points with Villa or United.
Well,
you're just starting to feel really good.
In saying that too, I mean, I'm looking at these fixtures. I mean, we essentially have, you could say we have about 5 cup finals in these 6 games because you have the Merseyside derby. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, which also is a very emotional game too in its own right. But I basically say this in that we're playing essentially all the teams around us.
Yeah.
Because we play United at Old Trafford, huge game. We played Chelsea at Anfield,
also big, pretty big,
huge, and then we played Villa,
small.
So back to back to back, and then we also end the season at home to Brentford.
And look, there's a chance that Brentford goes into that game where a win gets them Champions League football.
Exactly. Yeah, they are literally 1 point behind Chelsea right now in 6th. So they're hoping for European football.
Yeah, and they have the top scorer who's not named Holland, which is basically how that works from now on. Igor Jesus.
Great name.
Igor. Great. Yeah, I'm a big Igor guy. Big Stein head.
Someone's a fan of Mary Shelley.
That I would not describe myself as that, but
is that Dr. Frankenstein? Is it Dr. Frankenstein or Mr. Frankenstein? He's a doctor, right?
It's doctor. Yeah.
But is
you
Igor
his
Mr.
assistant?
Hyde?
Yeah, That's Igor's the assistant, and Monster is the monster.
Right. Yes. He should get a name. Frank.
Frankenstein and Frank. Or just call him Junior,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I would love, obviously saying I would love to be Everton is just like a nonsense phrase, but I just would. It's facts. I would like to beat them.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think these last 2 performances, again, at the PSG we lose, but I still think there's something to be positive about and to take away from, and I think that can lead us into this game against Everton, and I think it could be potentially a positive result. But James, there's some news going around too, because
talk to me.
The scuttlebutt before this Champions League tie was essentially that if we do not win the Champions League, Slot will not be the manager leading us into next season. And now it seems that might not be the case. I think, was it David Ornstein that reported that essentially FSG is behind him and support him?
Yeah, and Ornstein is pretty much, it's almost a fact when he writes it down.
It's a Woj bomb.
I guess we sort of spun ourselves into a fervor about it being essentially a fact that he was going to go. Right. We being just all of the fandom, but also, the 2 of us. It's really not that, it's kind of par for the course for FSG to decide to stick with the guy. But it is, honestly, at this point, it's a little disappointing because the team, like I said, it's no fun to watch right now. They don't know each other's names, let alone where they're going to be on the pitch. And
just
we've
like
already, go ahead.
No, just like seeing players regress this season too. Like
Yeah.
you have players like
Yeah.
Gravenberch, McAllister.
The way he's
That
treating Salah, he
Yeah.
doesn't start either game in Paris or Anfield.
Right.
It's his last Champions League matches with Liverpool, and look, we lost 4-0. So I say you should have given him a better send off. But Slot, kind of a dick.
I mean, I think everyone was pretty much over this whole Slot situation in September or October rather. But I don't know, like there's just things like I think the press conference after the PSG game, he said something around the fact that let's see if we can add some new players after selling some good players this summer. Just what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I
Just get your foot out of your mouth.
Yeah,
Why are you already rolling out the red carpet to the excuses?
just like a little too Dutch for my liking at this point. But and also with the Slot news is also the fact that Richard Hughes, the sporting director, will end up staying because he was rumored to be going to Saudi Arabia to be the director for a team in that league, but is not the case anymore. So I wonder if that's also because did he pick Slot? I think he might have been the one that to give the okay on Slot, him and Michael Edwards, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he was already here, so it might
Right.
have been him, right?
Yeah.
He's the head honcho right now. People like to say that Richard can't fire Arne. I'm on a first name basis with both of these men, because then it's him admitting that he was wrong because
Right.
he picked the manager. I think that that's an absurd take, personally.
Yeah.
But here we are, and he's not firing the guy. So it seems to me like they are already prepping Slot to be sort of the whipping boy of a disappointing summer.
Right.
And how that's going to play out, I don't know. I mean, it seems to me right now, if we started next season right now, we have Gakpo and Isak. Those are our two forwards. And
yeah, I mean,
I kind of have to sign 3, but certainly you have to sign 2.
Absolutely. I mean, and there's still the contract with Konate that's still up in the air. I think that might actually be
going the way we wanted to.
I think he might be signing another deal with Liverpool, which would be good because it gives us one less thing to do in the summer. Because now with Ekitike out for the foreseeable future, we need another forward option. Depending if that's even like a strike partner with Isak, I would say get wingers. We need top-notch wingers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, this is just I don't know. I think I'm not numb to it, but I am just like I want the season to be over, and then once it's over, we can reset and assess what's happening. You know what I mean? Like it just like it feels like we're in this weird purgatory of a season where there's essentially, again, like I said, nothing left to play for.
Yeah, it's just bad to bad to bad.
Right.
Really, especially with the Ekitike news.
But I mean, like, look, like we could win these last 6 games, and I don't know if that would change the atmosphere around Slot. Like if we end up, again, going on an unbeaten run for the rest of the season and maybe like getting third, like that would be great. And then who knows? I don't know. I don't, it really depends because they were saying that PSG would be the factor of him retaining, but maybe not anymore. I guess not. It's very confusing.
Yeah. I really don't know where to take it. I think we, like you're saying, we're caught in this weird in-between state and really just need to get to the end of the season.
Also, it's good. It's also just lip service from FSG. Of course, they're going to be like, yeah, we're behind Slot. We're going to support him. Like,
right. There's no reason to say, no, we're firing him in 6 weeks.
Exactly. Because maybe they want to come out.
Ridiculous.
They want to come out in front of this whole chatter about them firing him post Champions League exit. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. This will be interesting. I'm excited for this Everton game because I think it'll be. It's like a nice fixture to have after this because
it's a little tonic.
Exactly.
Helps the medicine go down.
Right. So we'll see how that goes. And then in terms of that, I mean, I don't know. Let's sign Anthony Gordon. I don't know. Like I would like I want a shiny new signing.
I could definitely see the Gordon signing happening. He seems like he's already posturing to get out of Newcastle. He's from Liverpool. He's talked about wanting to play there. Obviously, he played for Everton, so there's a little complication there. But personally, don't really rate him. Wouldn't be super pumped if he came in. I like
him.
I think that he's at best okay. But what would be good about it is he can play across the front line.
Absolutely,
and
exactly.
So
he's a little narky. He's a little asshole. I do like that about him.
He is narky. Yeah, that's a good word for it. He kind of come in as the new Robertson, basically.
Right, and he has a relationship.
No disrespect to Robertson, he doesn't touch him for me.
Right.
So yeah, there are worse signings definitely, but I think that he's more hyped. He's more hyped than ass.
I also just pulled that out of thin air. Like I don't think that's going to happen. But
there are those rumors.
There are rumors,
and we've been getting those Anthony Gordon rumors for years now.
For a long time, yeah. Since he was at Everton. But, well, I mean, look, James, it's sad. We're out of the Champions League. We're out of all the domestic cups. Not going to win the league this season.
Not mathematically out of it.
That's true. That's a great point. Keep tumbling, Arsenal. But, there's some people that they like to get into the drama. There's that new movie out called The Drama. People love drama.
Great.
It's a great movie.
I love that movie. I'll be honest.
And people it's dramatic times at Liverpool Football Club, and people want to know what's up. People want to know what our thoughts are. Two guys from West Coast, and I don't know, like if you were to direct them in one direction or the other, one direction. Where could these people find us? Right?
That's a great question, Ian. If you want to find more of me and you want to find more of my co-host Ian, the best place to go is, well, look, there's a couple different places. The first one, YouTube at Redheads Podcast. The second one, Instagram at Redheads Podcast. The third one, Apple Podcasts at Redheads Podcast. The fourth one, Spotify. I'm not going to repeat the name this time. At this point, you understand it. You made it this far into the episode. You know who we are.
Yeah.
Look, any other podcatcher, I still don't like that phrase. A little annoyed that I said it right now.
It's like dog
We're
catcher.
On it. That's why I don't like it, because it reminds me of dog catchers, which, what a wild profession. That's probably the first job that's going to get replaced by AI, Foley. Dog catcher. Yeah, that checks out to me. Look.
Waymo robots.
Watch our shorts. Watch our longs. Listen to us. And it's just going to make you feel better. Every time we do this episode, I feel better. So
me too.
Spread a little love.
Well, James, that was amazing. Thank you for that. But I actually have a tasty pie cooling on my windowsill. But let me know.
Do you mind if I could have a...
I might get you a...
Peace!
Redheads.
So sick.
Redheads.